This wasn't football. This was chaos dressed up in kits. Lyon 2, Manchester United 2, and somehow nobody won. Not really. Not Onana. Not Fernandes. Not the traveling fans stuck in traffic outside Groupama Stadium, wondering if this team is worth the emotional investment. What a mess. What a spectacle. Andre Onana said things. He made noises before kickoff. Something about silence. About doubters, about showing who he is. And then the match started. And he showed us. Oh, he showed us. He flailed at a floating free kick like he was trying to swat a balloon at a kid's birthday party, and Almada said, "Sure, I'll take that." 1-0. Silence indeed. But here's the thing about United. They're not dead. They just smell that way sometimes, down a goal, out of rhythm. And then, out of nowhere, the teenager Yoro shows up at the back post with all the chill in the world. A floating rebound, a twisted body, and a header guided like he was dropping it in with a joystick. 1-1. Redemption? Not quite. But a heartbeat. A pulse. The second half? Theater. Total chaos theater. Garnacho breaking lines, Fernandes serving curls like he moonlights at a pastry shop, and Zirkzee, cool, elegant, almost too chill, rising to meet a Bruno cross and thumping it home like it was never in doubt. That was the moment. That was the robbery. Lyon had the keys, and United kicked in the door anyway. But of course, this wasn't done. 5 minutes into added time. A desperate Lyon. A tired United. And Onana, again, this time Mikautadze hits a soft one. Should be a routine save. But Onana, channeling the energy of a man swatting bees, pushes it into the danger zone like it's part of his training regimen. Cherki, first to react, like a villain waiting in the shadows. 2-2. Groupama erupts, Onana shrinks, the game ends and nobody's really smiling. Lyon rescued it, United blew it. But both know they've got another 90 minutes of madness coming at Old Trafford. And based on this, it's going to be a war zone with shin guards. But let's not just talk about Onana, tempting though it is. Let's talk Fernandes. Captain, conductor, occasional magician. That assist for Zirkzee? Outrageous. Dinked like he was buttering toast with his laces. This guy doesn't run. He haunts. He floats in and out of the match like a ghost with impeccable timing, and when United needed class, he was there wearing it like a bespoke suit. And Zirkzee. Big man, soft touch. He's got that nonchalant striker thing going like he's barely trying until the ball hits the net and you realize, oh, that's the point. 2 touches all night, one of them decisive. The kind of player who vanishes for 89 minutes just to ruin your life in the 90th. Mainu took a booking like a veteran. That's the kind of yellow you get a standing ovation for in the locker room. Professional foul, tactical genius. Marino probably smiled somewhere in the dark. And then there's Yoro. Scoring your first goal for United in a European knockout game in France? As a center back? That's a story you tell at every family gathering until the end of time. And it wasn't even a lucky bounce. It was guided, glanced, whispered into the net. But Lyon, you have to give it to them. Mikautadze was a menace. Cherki was electric, buzzing in and out like he was plugged into a socket. Almada's free kick might have been lucky, but he made the moment his. And Tolisso should have scored. Lacazette should have done something, but in the end it was the spirit that kept them alive. The crowd, the fury, the belief that something could still happen. And then it did. So now all eyes shift to Manchester, to the return leg. And you know what? No lead feels safe. No goalkeeper feels secure. No prediction feels smart. The tie is level. The drama is not. Old Trafford awaits. But it doesn't wait quietly. It waits with rage, with revenge, with the haunting echo of Cherki's equalizer still bouncing around every corridor. This tie didn't just end 2-2. It split in half. And what's coming next? That's a storm waiting to be named. So let's be clear. United didn't lose, but they didn't win either. And for a club that's made an art of last-gasp miracles, tonight felt like a curse dipped in déjà vu. A 2-1 lead in the 88th minute away from home? You close that out. You slam the door. You don't hand it back with a ribbon on top and a note from Onana saying, "Oops." Let's talk about that last goal again, because it wasn't just poor goalkeeping. It was a horror short film. A shot with no venom, no pace, no deception. A routine catch, the kind you grab with your Sunday paper. But Onana, he turned it into a live grenade. A weak parry, a panicked reaction, and Cherki, sniffing blood like a seasoned butcher, slides in to write his name in permanent marker. And somewhere you could feel Amorim's soul briefly leaving his body. But this isn't just the Onana show. The second half was a full United experience, a roller coaster built entirely out of midfielders. Fernandes orchestrating with strings tied to everyone's limbs. Casemiro, a warrior made of elbows and instinct. Mainu sliding into duels like he's played 200 matches instead of 20. And then Zirkzee, stepping up with the kind of header that makes defenders quit the sport. But Lyon, they never blinked. They took the punches, took the pressure, took the Fernandes free kicks like they were drinking shots of espresso, gritting their teeth, absorbing everything. And when the opening came, they didn't ask for permission. Mikau Tadze made a mess. Cherki cleaned it up. Equalizer, euphoria, chaos. The crowd, they exploded like a stadium had grown lungs and screamed. Because this wasn't just a goal. This was proof that Lyon belonged, that United might still be vulnerable, that anything can happen in this two-legged descent into madness. Let's rewind to the tactical side for a second, before it all descended into emotional debris. Ruben Amorim had choices. He made the brave one. No changes to the Lyon. He backed the team that shut out City, that fought tooth and nail in the league, that looked more cohesive than any United side had in months. And for 87 minutes, it looked like the gamble paid off. Mainu offered control, Dalot offered chaos. Casemiro controlled chaos. It was a midfield that functioned like a mildly possessed orchestra, moments of genius, moments of horror, and always on the edge of collapse. Garnacho was electric in bursts, and Zirkzee was everything Højlund couldn't be. Efficient, deadly, unbothered. Meanwhile, Lyon were clever. This wasn't the Lyon of old. This was a Lyon that hunted in packs. They pressed high, they fouled smart, and they leaned on the physicality Amorim warned about. Tagliafico and Tolisso were snarling in every duel. Almada wasn't just there to float around, he was a dagger in transition. And Cherki? He was born for this. You don't teach instinct like that. You live it. But man, what a game it was for missed moments. Tolisso, alone in the box, shoots right at Onana when he could have placed it. Mikotadze creating chaos in the area and toe-poking just wide. Even Lacazette, old and creaky and full of regret, had a couple of windows to be the hero, but never quite found the door. For United, Garnacho had his moment. Dorgu, too. Sliding into the box with a pass so ripe it deserved applause, and Garnacho smacks it at the keeper. That's the game in microcosm. Opportunities were not in short supply, precision was. And so here we are. 2-2. Nothing decided, everything promised. And now, Old Trafford becomes the final trial. Will Fernandes deliver again? Will Zirkzee earn his place in folklore? Will Onana, will he keep the ball out of the net? Or will Lyon, loud, wild, unbothered, come to Manchester and do what no one expects? This isn't just a tie anymore. It's a feud. It's an open wound. And someone's season is going to bleed out on that pitch next week. The score is level, but the tension? Off the charts. Welcome to Leg 2. Let the madness continue.